What's going on, folks? I am Goat, and welcome back to Warframe. So this is obviously a little bit of a different type of video. This isn't a Warframe part. This isn't a segment of what I've been doing. This is something that kind of dawned on me. And truth be told, it dawned on me when I was farming for the Fever Spine K drive. Now I'm going to show you that thing real quick. Right there, the Fever Spine K drive. It just says K drive. So basically you go rank it and then you guild it and then boom, done. Have a nice day. I believe. But this is an infested K drive. Okay. Now here's the thing. How would I know this existed unless I lived in K drive life? Like, there's some people that live and die by playing K drive in this game. K drive is basically just a hoverboard with jets. It's kind of like the pit bull off of Back to the Future 2. That kind of thing. Okay? But in the realm of Warframe, aside from the Wave Rider quest, K drive has just kind of been this thing in the background, right? So I'm gonna do something. Because this really dawned a thought on me that really made me kind of question a really kind of important thing, okay? And that important thing is this. How does a new person know what to do in this game? It's the fucking truth, man. It really is. It's the absolute goddamn truth. When you start this game, you're given a tutorial, and in my opinion, a pretty fucking good one at that. Truth be told, I think the base tutorial for this game is actually pretty solid. It walks you through the basics of putting your ship together and doing all sorts of cool little things, you know, just doing also, yeah, Captain Baby shit, how you like that? So, but there is, you know, your base Warframe, right? For lack of a better way to put it. And then there's your base stuff. Now, the stuff down below, this stuff, you don't see all this when you start the game. I played this game, now, just for furthering the information, there are people that have thousands of hours in this game. I know for a fact there are people that have thousands of fucking hours in this game, okay? I'm a mastery rank 29. Okay, I'm a mastery rank 29 because I like a buffet of weapons. That's the truth of it. I haven't done every grindy little thing in this game, as my gameplay shows, because it's not the kind of... I don't dig into every little piece of lore and figure out every little nuance. I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing, right? So my stats show right here, right where my cursor is, okay? 45 days, 11 hours, 59 minutes, 54 seconds. So 1,092 hours. I have 1,092 hours in this game. Now, I have seen legendaries that have got 4,000 or 5,000 hours in this game. They've got time in this game, okay? And they've told me, you know, about how much changes have happened in the game. And here's the question I've got. Apart from the tutorial, until you truly dig into the questline, and here's what I'm going to say about it. The only guidance that you get in the game after the initial tutorial is the relay system. Basically, that's like you need to go to this point so you can move to the next planet and see what's over there. But nothing really guides you. There's nothing really saying, hey, you should do this. You only need to do these missions, or you should do all of the missions. Some people try to fast track, like me. I tried to fast track. I just tried to relay jump, and it kicked my butt because by the time I got to Jupiter, I wasn't ready for Jupiter. Anybody who's been watching since I started the channel, I was not ready for Jupiter. I wasn't ready for boss fights. I had no idea how the mod system worked. I had no idea really how the ability system worked. And this game is one of those games that I'm just going to give you a real quick back brief here, okay? The mod system. Let's look at the mod system, because this makes no sense to anybody. Like, as far as a new player, new perspective player, I've got 1,000 hours in this game, okay? Almost 1,100. The mod system in itself is insane if you have no idea what you're doing. Each one of these mods has a function. So, I sound like I'm trying to fucking point here. So each one of these icons points to a specific function of what this mod does. Okay, so you have Warframe, auras, augments, which are specific to either weapon or Warframe, primaries, secondaries, melees, stances, Exilis mods, which are specific slot mods or they can go in regular, vehicle mods, so Necromechs and Arcwings, and K-Drives, arc guns, arc melees, robotics, companions, and or beast, and yes, there is a different. Robotic is the little floating sentinels and the MOAs and shit, and the robo dogs. Well, technically, I think beast fit under that category. I don't remember. But robotic, beast, you have railjack, so plexus mods. Any of your duplicates, your incompletes, your rivens, and your parazons, which your parazons are your requiem mods and your parazon mods. Okay, so they all kind of fit in the same fucking category. Whole lot of information, right? What? What was all that I just said? New players? What? What the fuck did I just say? Yeah, exactly. All this stuff at the top. Initially, some of it isn't going to make any sense. Like Iatan treasures, until you unlock Mars, you can't even touch Iatan treasures. So it means you have to go through all of Earth, all of Venus, all of Mercury, and then go to Mars. Then you can access Maru's Bazaar. Just saying. Which, there's a deal for that. Dissolving duplicate mods. Now, one thing that I did early on, which cost me a lot of endo and a lot of credits doing it, but one thing that I did early on, we'll use accelerated deflection as a perfect example. I have a blank 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Each one of these are PowerPoints. That's your overall PowerPoint value is the number in the top right-hand corner. That's your overall PowerPoint value. Each one of those symbols is a specific school or a specific training style. Okay? You have to remember that. Because what you see when you go into your base Excalibur is you see that, right? Well, that matches this. But when you first start the game, you don't really have any auras. So you don't know what the fuck that does, right? Like, I haven't done shit with Excalibur in a long fucking time. Not polarized, not nothing. But this is just the blank look. This is the Exilis symbol, right? So that's where an Exilis mod would go, but obviously it's locked, so you have to unlock it. But you can see the training or the school for that one. So you're going to get a 50% reduction in that power drain. So let's say I want to stick a Vazarin, which is that top symbol. Let's say I want to stick a Vazarin mod. It says 9 points. It's going to cut that in half. Or thereabouts. If it's an odd number, it will always round up. I'm just telling you that right now. Okay, so let's take a Matarai, which is obviously that symbol. So intensify, 11 point draw, right? So what's that going to be? 6. 6 point draw. So you get reductions by matching these symbols. Okay, that's where polarization comes into play. Okay, so I'm going to change this back to Lavos really quick. Me too. I know I passed him. I know I passed. There he is. Lavos. Like, I haven't polarized Lavos. I polarized Wisp. So I polarized Vazarin, Neramon, Matarai, Umbra, and Vazarin. I think that's what that is, right? Vazarin? I always get those mixed up. Yeah, Vazarin. Okay. Yeah, so I've done 3 polarizations. One of these was already polarized. I think it was the Matarai, but I don't remember. Yeah, I've done 3 polarizations. The Umbra was obviously one of them. I wanted to cut the power down because I wanted to build on strength, duration, and range, but not go OP with any of them because I build my Wisp for crowd control. So, just saying. Excuse me. You know, and you can see I have an Exilis mod up here, basically just to take up extra points. Truth be told, with this particular build, basically to take up extra points. But the thing of it is that there are, you know, stance mods as well. Stance mods are something that are not talked about. There are specific stance mods to each weapon type. And if you don't match the school, you don't get the points. If you don't match the symbols, okay, at a bare basic, if you don't match the symbol, you lose power, okay? So instead of having 68, I wouldn't have 68, so you'd be like, nah, man. Be like, nah, bro, you can't do that. So you can see if I use Rending Crane, I get 10, right? What do we get here? 4. Yeah, you have to match the schools. Like, I want to use Tempo Royale. I think this blade will be amazing with that, but just saying. But they don't talk about that, okay? They don't talk about arcanes. They don't talk about any of this stuff. They don't talk about all these damn numbers on the side. These are all numbers that have a meaning to what your weapons and what your warframes are capable of doing. None of this is discussed. It's just expected, okay? So here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? First and foremost, understand that there are nuances of this game that you're not going to get information from. There's only 2 places you're going to get this from: Google and YouTube. Well, or 3 if you find somebody in the game that you can talk to in Discord or Steam that you can become buddies with, that will help you walk through this stuff. I will help you to the best of my ability, but honestly, I'm an emulator, okay? I'm an emulator with my own twist. That's the truth of it. What that basically means is I've looked at how other people do things, and to the best of the abilities of what I can do, on top of to the best of my abilities with the stuff that I have, I do my best to emulate to become stronger, okay, to play better, okay? But this game starts you on Earth. It doesn't tell you jack shit other than you start on Earth. You don't see the moon, which is Lua. You don't see the Kuva Fortress. You see Earth, okay? Now, the thing that it's going to do is it's going to start you on E prime, so you do that, then you do Mariana, then you do Mantle, right? And then all of a sudden, Cetus is open and available. Which you're like, okay, is this free world? So you can go into the free world. I'm going to tell you right now, my personal opinion, I don't think that the free world should be open to anybody under Mastery 5. Now, I know that there is a quest involving free world stuff on both Fortuna, or on Cetus, Earth, Venus, and Mars, or Deimos, okay? Obviously, there's a quest for each of them. Now, here's the problem, though. I think those quests should be higher. The reason being is that if you go out as a Mastery 2, okay, or a Mastery 1, and try to take on the Plains of Eidolon at night, you're going to die, and you're going to get pissed off, okay? I have seen plenty of people that have started playing this game, got to Mastery 1, Mastery 2, went to the Plains of Eidolon, turned the fucking game off and uninstalled it. Not kidding you. Because there's no definition, okay? There's none whatsoever. I think instead of putting free roam quests, I think there needs to be like a builder's quest. Truth be told, I really think there needs to be a builder's quest on, teaching a new player more about how to build their weapons and their warframes. Like, specifically, I don't know, you can either give a certain amount of maxed out flawed mods or something, or you can apply a quest that actually gives you the opportunity of earning unflawed mods and allowing you to get enough XP, enough mastery rank to get up a couple of ranks in the game at the same time through the first 3 planets. Without relay jumping and just praying like hell you figure out what it is, because there's stuff about, scanning things like, let's see here, let's go to Venus Junction. So what you have to do, you have to complete Forest Prize, which is basically the first fucking quest. No problem. Collect 20 mods. Okay, that's potentially easy. Potentially not. Sometimes you have to go back and repeatedly do games. Now, I'm going to say right now, this game is grindy. That's part of the deal. That is just part of the fucking deal. You need to have an open mind with Warframe, because the gameplay and the story behind this game is amazing. But the follow-through of mixing those two together doesn't always work from a new player perspective. I was lost as shit. Like, literally, I was a gunplay guy and occasionally melee until I got to Jupiter. Okay, like I had no idea what the fucking abilities did. I had no idea what mods did. I really had no understanding of polarizations whatsoever. Just nothing. Nothing. I had no fucking clue what I was doing because there was nothing to really explain to me how it worked. You just figure it out. It's like you talk to another player. Oh, or you see a player do something really fucking cool and you're like, oh, how did they do that? So then you go and look at that Warframe and you realize, oh, fuck, that's an ability? Oh. That's why I fell in love with Wisp. I got Wisp as a gift from Salad when I was at Venus. And I can tell you that when I got Wisp, I had no idea how to use her abilities until I got to Jupiter. Like, I just randomly hit buttons kind of things. Not to say that I didn't use abilities, I just randomly ass hit buttons. And I didn't realize that part of the reason why I was staying alive the whole time was Wisp's passive ability. That's a huge thing that isn't explained unless you go looking. Passive abilities. Every Warframe has a passive ability. Wisp's passive ability, one of the reasons why Wisp is so fucking unkillable at times. Not to say that she isn't killable, but between her healing reservoir, her shocking reservoir, her haste reservoir, and then her passive ability. So we're talking her first ability, and then her passive ability. Her passive ability is that she's completely fucking invisible to all enemies. Bosses, doesn't fucking matter. Completely invisible as long as she's in the air. Hence why I have a MOA that allows her to float for like 8 seconds. So if I'm in a crowd of motherfuckers and I'm getting fucked up, I just jump in the air. And I can hover away from the crowd. That's why I called that MOA floaty. Hey, Semigoth just finished. I can sacrifice the prick. So apply 4 mods to a single Warframe. Well, again, if you don't understand the school categories, if you know, applying 4 mods is a bit of a problem, because if you only have like 5 or 6 mods, how do you know how to apply them? Because the point value is so low because of your rank. Upgrade any mod to rank 2 or higher through the fusion process. Now, again, this is meant to try and teach you, okay? These things are actually meant to try and teach you how to do it, okay? So complete a quest. That means that there's a quest. And it says activate new quests using codex in your orbiter. So it's telling you there's quests in the codex. Okay, cool. Collect mods. It's telling you defeated enemies have a chance to drop mods. So it's telling you where to get them. That's good. Apply 4 mods to a single Warframe or weapon. Okay, that's great. But why does it have to be a puzzle? Why can't you actually, you know, really kind of do just some baby bitch newbie quest? Something that, you know, higher level people don't even need to fuck with, and just make it an alternate optional thing for anybody who's already on the game. Make it a mandatory kind of quest like Vor's Prize. You don't get a choice in doing Vor's Prize. It's just fucking there. You know? Well, you do get a choice. I think Awakening is the one you don't get the choice for, because that's the whole tutorial and all that. And then upgrade any mod to rank 2 or higher through the fusion process. Use Endo to upgrade mods at the mod station in your orbiter. Now, here's the problem. They don't really talk about how to get Endo. Okay? They don't really talk about getting credits. You know, like, what's the best way to farm them? Because especially this early on, I mean, granted, most of the shit you're going to pick up is flawed anyway, so it's going to be really cheap. But getting Endo at rank 1, rank 2, it's a chore. It's not impossible by any means, because enemies do have a chance to drop Endo, just like they have a chance to drop mods. There's 4 forms of currency in this game, though, okay? That is not explained to anybody, okay? It's hinted at by this stuff. Endo, okay? Credits. That's for upgrading a mod. Bare bones, upgrading a mod. That's 2 forms. What are the other 2? Forma. That doesn't sound like a level of currency, but as far as growing in the game, as far as allowing your warframes and your weapons to really get to their max potential, you need to polarize the weapons. So therefore, Forma is a form of currency to use to make the slots cut the power rankings in half. So it's a form of currency for yourself, not to other things. Just like creds and Endo. You know, yeah, you can buy stuff off the marketplace with cred. You don't really use Endo for jack shit other than mods, right? But you need a lot of it. And what's the 4th one? Platinum. That's Digital Extreme's moneymaker. You know, that's the ultimate person-to-person trade, or buy from Warframe.com. Okay, fair enough. A lot of people do it. It's fine. I'm not one to judge. I've done it myself a couple of times. It is what it is. Well, a few times. And I've done trades in the market. So what? What about it? I find something I want. I get a really good % off deal. I go get the damn thing. So this relay tells you to do that stuff, right? So you get to Venus. Let's go look at Venus. So to get to Mercury, defeat the Jackal, your first real good boss fight. Truth be told, in my opinion, I think the Jackal is a really cool boss fight because it really challenges you at low level. At higher level, Jackal's easy. But to defeat the Jackal at probably somewhere between Mastery 3 and Mastery 5, just depending on how much you grind the initial part of the map, it's a good fight. It's a really, really, really good low-level fight. Complete 10 waves of defense at Tessera on Venus. Now, I understand why that's there. That's there for two reasons. One, to show you how to relic hunt. Even though you're not hunting, you're not doing relic hunts, because most of the time at this point you don't have really any relics. This is how you earn them, though. But also to show you how to handle a defense in the game. Rescue a hostage. How you get, Spectre blueprints. So what's your payoff? And to defeat Eximus. So it's introducing you to the tougher mini boss type players. And again, it shows you, the little scrolling thing down at the bottom, what your reward is. Cool, right? So then you go to Mercury and you do your missions there. Now the thing with Mars, whoops, I zoomed way too far out. There we go. So the thing with Mars is that now you've got 3 locations you go to. You can Phobos, Deimos, or Ceres. Now the only way to get to Deimos is Heart of Deimos quest. Phobos, Junction. Ceres, Junction. Obviously no junction to Deimos because you get access through the quest. Phobos, Junction. Defeat 150 enemies in a single mission on Mars. Try endless missions such as excavation, survival, or defense. Good thing to introduce people to endless missions, although you've done it on Venus by having to do a defense for 10 waves. Scan 3 Cephalon fragments. Equip codex scanners in your gear wheel at the arsenal. 1 fragment spawns randomly per mission. I'm gonna tell you right now, that right there pissed me off. When I was a new player, that scan Cephalon fragments on Mars pissed me off because I had no fucking clue what the hell the damn things were. And even though it says 1 fragment spawns randomly per mission, when you're a gunplay guy who is not a grindy farming resource kind of guy, you're not looking for these fucking things. So you have no idea where to look. Thankfully, Salad is that grindy guy. He's that guy who really taught me initially, because Salad joined the game after I did, directly after I did, but he's that real resource farming kind of guy. So he's the one who really kind of walked me through, oh yeah, there's hidey holes here and here and here and here and here, and make sure you look here. Because without that, I'd have had no idea. I'd had no fucking idea. Excuse me. Open 3 Lith Void relics. Look at the top. Look for the relic. Okay. The relic icon at the top of the star chart for Void Fisher missions. Okay. So right now, there would be an interception. Just saying. Ceres. Defeat the Sergeant. Another good low-level boss fight. The Sergeant's kind of a bitch, honestly. He's a little tanky for lower level, but not bad. Defeat the Sergeant on Phobos. Okay, so that tells you you have to do Phobos before you can get to Ceres. Okay. Defeat Let Krill at War on Mars. Let Krill is a pain in the butthole. Okay, at low level, he is a pain in the ass. Defeat 3 Arid Grineer on Mars. Find Arid Grineer in missions on Mars. So it's a very specific Grineer type. How do you know what they look like? You have to seriously go hunt every fucking mission, or another thing. Refine a Void Relic once at the console in your orbiter. Obtain Void Traces from Void Fishers to refine relics in your orbiter. Basically telling you that you need to get the fucking relic console in your ship completed So you can do that, so you can go to Cirrus. Now here's the thing I'm going to tell you. The Find 300 Arid Grineer. You know what the best way to do that is? Okay? Wikipedia. Google. YouTube. Friends. Seriously. This is the unexplainable shit. This is the grindy ass part of the shit of the game that without any explanation, you either go on to fucking Google and just search up what the hell is an Arid Grineer, so you get an image, okay, which is fine. I mean, some people literally grind that part out, and I'm not complaining about this, okay? I'm saying from the new player perspective, this is the stuff that will irritate the fuck out of you, because it's basically saying, hey, go grind every fucking mission on Mars, and hopefully you find the right one, run up to the body and look at it so you have an idea what the fuck you're doing. Now, if you're a melee player, you'll see it close. But this is unexplained stuff that you end up needing a buddy, needing YouTube, needing Google. Just saying. It's the irritating part. Deimos. There's a whole fucking quest. I've met multiple players that had no fucking idea that the Codex existed. Multiple new players that have been sucked onto Saturn with higher level clan members who had just got them in the game. And the higher level clan member hadn't even talked to him about the Codex yet. Mastery rank 1. They had basically done just enough to become Mastery rank 1. And their higher level clan member was like, here, I'll just take you somewhere cool and I'll keep you alive so your stuff ranks up so you can get to the next Mastery level. They don't talk to him about anything else. Being in a clan is great. You get access to stuff that you can't get anywhere else. But you gotta be in the right clan. Because some clans don't really help for shit. They just, oh, well, here, good luck. If you're not active, you can get the fuck out. I've talked to plenty of people that have dealt with that. Or just completely inactive, not talking to each other at all. Just period. Here, I'm glad you're in a clan. Have a nice day. They just want their numbers up. But Deimos, you can't even access Deimos without going through the Codex. As a new player, you have no idea the Codex exists. Just saying. So you go through and do Cirrus to get to Jupiter, right? So you have to complete the Arcoing quest. At this point, you know the Codex exists because you had to do Vor's Prize. You know, and you had to do Stolen Dreams, I think. You have to defeat Vor and Krill at Exta, which is a pretty cool fight, honestly. It's a pain in the butt, low level, but fun. Survive 10 minutes at Draco, which is a survival. So you're surviving against guys, Grineer shooting at you. And defeat a Prosecutor on Cirrus. Prosecutors are elite Grineer units with a chance to spawn on Cirrus. They're not wrong, but their chance to spawn is not really that amazing. I don't care what the numbers on Google say. Sometimes they spawn, sometimes they fucking don't. You could do 12 fucking missions and they won't spawn. And then all of a sudden you'll do 3 in a row and a prosecutor is on the screen. Be wary, Tenno, or be cautious, Tenno, or some nonsense like that. Okay? So again, here comes Google or YouTube or a friend. Because, hey, how the fuck do I find a prosecutor? Is there a best mission for these guys to spawn? So you get to Jupiter. Because here's the one thing you're going to hear over and over and over again as a new player. Okay, as a new player, you're going to get told the same bullshit over and over and over again. Okay? The game's story doesn't really open up until the second dream. That's correct, and it's bullshit at the same time. Because all the little mini quests that pop up to that point are legit because they're teaching you pieces of the game. It's just a matter of people telling other people on YouTube, oh, the second dream is the quest that matters. Well, no, all the other fucking quests actually matter too because they're part of the fucking entirety of the story, their entirety of the lore, and they get you extra shit. So don't listen to that bullshit. Yes, as far as the direct quest line, as far as the direct part of the Warframe lore, the second dream is the opener. It's the eye-opener, and you have to get all the way to Uranus just to do that, motherfucker. Specifically because of the story. But the second dream is not the start of the fucking story. The start of the story is the beginning of the game. The problem is I think there's a big fucking gap for new players, because, in my opinion, this is hands down, and this isn't me trying to gush or sound like goofy about this, okay? But in my opinion, Warframe is probably hands down the best sci-fi third-person game I have ever fucking played. Okay? Between the graphics, the story, the grindy farming nature of the game, it mixes so many different levels of gameplay in. But there's a fucking hole in the game, okay? And it's a big, gaping fucking hole, and even at higher level players, okay? If you had to run this game with only 4-man squads and you had no way to talk to each other, I think people would rage quit this game well before they ever mastered it. I think there'd be the few, you know, sorry to put it this way, but uber nerds, you know, myself included, that would just continually try to grind it out to see where it goes. That's why I continued to play the game, because by the time I got to Jupiter, I was getting pissed. I'm not kidding. I was having fun because I had a squad that I was running with constantly. I had Salad, I had TKAT, I had Monster, and I had myself. I was constantly running with the group. But I also ran solo. When I ran solo, I got irritated as fuck because there was no goddamn realistic explanation. Because everything I saw on YouTube said, the second dream is the thing. You've got to get to Uranus. So fast track. That's where my mind went. Fast track to each junction. Do as little as possible. It was when I got to Jupiter when I realized that the quests actually help quite a bit. Start paying attention to the stuff in the mod bench. Start paying attention to how the fuck am I supposed to get more endo? How the fuck am I supposed to get more credits? What's the best way to spawn this? What's the best way to rank this? Do this, do that. How do I get more powerful? This was the point in the game. This fucking planet right fucking there is the point in the game when I started to really try to learn more. And it's pathetic that it took me that goddamn long to do it. But there's no guiding light other than the relay system. My personal opinion is that between the second dream and the awakening tutorial, okay, between those 2 points, there needs to be another quest. Because I've gotten 5 people who have never even seen this game before to start this game and quit this game. Because nothing is clear-cut and concise for a new player. Once you've established yourself as a player, this entire video is completely useless and stupid. Okay? Because you have an understanding of what you're doing at this point. You understand how mods work, how to get endo, how to get credits, you know, how to build the stuff to your gameplay style. You have an understanding of all these things. But when you don't build your shit that way, seriously? It's a bit of a problem. It's legit. It's a bit of a problem. There's a gaping hole in this game for new players. And I think that gaping hole has got to get rectified. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's this enormous hole in the game. And it literally relies on the relay system. And I know, and I've talked to people, don't get me wrong, okay? I have talked to people and I have heard from people that have been playing this game since it came out, which was, I believe, December of 2012 or January of 2013. I want to say it's December of 2012 when this game released. This fucking game is 9 years old. Well, 8 years old. Coming up on 9. Coming up on 8, I'm sorry. No, it's coming up on 9. They've told me how much this game has grown, how much the animations of the, you know, of the little, you know, like the Ortis thing and the Lotus thing and how much the, you know, the Solaris have grown, how all those little animations have grown, and how much the star chart look has grown, and how much the quest line has grown, and how much the gameplay itself, like bullet jumping apparently wasn't a thing in the game at one point, you know, all these things. Everything has grown, and this game grows and grows and grows, and that's what I love about this game. It just continually grows. It doesn't say, hey, you need to buy this. Buy Warframe 2. Buy Warframe 27. No, it just grows. I love that. I think that they're hurting themselves with the new player side of the market. I think they're solely relying on people that are going to come in because they get told it's like space ninjas, and, you know, because that's a funny joke, running joke to say, is a bunch of running space ninjas. Shiny space ninjas. But I think
the balance of power continues to shift. Navigation is marked with new invasions.
And yes, I know I can fix that. I don't want to. I don't have a problem with it. She can just be all facsimile Lotus, and that's fine. Some people don't like it. I don't know why. It's whatever. It's part of the game. I think the expectation is that people either have the expectation that they see the trailers and that's the game, or they're getting the grindy people in. But the grindy people are the only ones that are going to stick with this game. The people that see the trailers are not going to stick with this game, more than likely, because there's not enough structure to the system from the beginning. Now, with as much game growth as there has been, because I've had to look back on video. I've seen, what's his name? Brozyme, I think is his name. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong. Brozyme is a dude. I haven't watched his videos in a hot fucking minute, but he does like good tutorials on weapon builds and shit. Actually, I probably should look him up pretty soon, because with all these new Tenet weapons, I bet he's got some banging ass fucking builds. Because he does I think he does a why would you use this weapon or something like that. He will complain about video types. Because like, I've had him pop up on Twitch a couple of times, like about the hollow keys. That was the last I caught the hollow key video. Because like, unless I see him pop up in the search, I don't like actively look for him. And he sounds like he's a very knowledgeable guy, and in my opinion, I think he's pretty funny. But he does make some good points. Like the hollow key farming system is a fucking joke, and apparently today they fixed it a little. Which, in quoting Olive's hotfix heroes, probably means they fucked it up more than anything. But whatever. So, look, I'm sorry. Every time they do an update, they have to fix the update like 5 fucking times. It's games, man. It's video games. That's just part of the world, okay? It's part of this kind of world, okay? I'm not complaining about that. Hot fixes and patches and things like that, those are all part of online gaming. And if you don't like that, get the fuck over it. So no, I'm not bitching about digital extremes. I'm really not. I think them... Like, I've had complaints, and I've voiced this complaint before, but something like the Rising Tide quest, okay? That's to build a railjack. But because they wanted to push the railjack so much with the Call of Tempestari, all the people who ground and all the people who had pushed, and I was one of those people that was starting into that push. I hadn't actually fully, immersed myself into burying myself into a railjack and making it super tanky and really good. But I feel really, really, really fucking bad for anybody who even had to do the Rising Tide quest at this point, because now you can just plat by the entire thing with crew members. Just fuck that quest, right? Fuck all that time. 12 hours at a time. Fuck all that time you just put in doing that. You can just plat by everything now. They changed the entire intrinsic system, the aviation system, to where now it's a plexus with multiple layers. The intrinsic system has changed too. So they just completely revamped it, but it was a hot fucking mess, because with the Call of Tempestari came Void Storms, and I don't know if anybody else remembers that one, but my fucking god, was that the most unplayable bullshit in the first fucking basically 24 hours. That was literally walk into a mission, die. Unless you were just stupid high level and you had the right arcanes and the right mods and the right setup, you would just walk into a fucking mission, get about, I don't know, about 3 minutes into the mission, and these insane Void Storm flashes would just pop up and you would be fucking dead. It was the most unplayable horse shit, and damn near made me rage quit this motherfucker about 4 times. I finally stopped playing the Void Storms, and I refused to touch them again until they patched them, because it was fucked up. I mean, hell, bro, that was actually the first video I saw of Brozyme's, was, why is this a thing? He wasn't wrong. The Void Storms were just uncannily insane. Like, mind-bogglingly insane. But again, Void Storms. It's relic running for Railjack. But the Call of Tempestari didn't really do much. Okay? The Sisters of Parvos. The little video for the Sisters of Parvos that I showed you guys. It just tells you, okay, hey, I have sisters now. Doesn't tell you how to get them. 2 and 2 add together on it. At the end of Call of Tempestari, the female Corpus Commander ends up with Parvos Granum. The Call of Tempest, or the Sisters of Parvos introduction video, shows Parvos Granum at the Granum Void with a bunch of female Corpus. So that tells you, if one sister ended up at the Granum Void and Parvos Granum has them at the Granum Void, that's where you start. But you gotta kind of math it in your fucking head on how to do it. Guess how I did it? Google. And then I got a better explanation from Dranka. Friend. 2 of the 3 I listed. I'm just saying, there's no clear, concise thing on anything that they add to the game. And I fucking hate, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I get off here, I fucking hate quests like Call of Tempestari, okay? I hate quests like the Glass Gambit. I hate quests, what's another good one? I hate the quests that give you a blueprint, but then basically tell you, hey, even though you spent all this time doing this quest, go fuck yourself and now grind for all the parts. I just ground to do the quest. Now, the Call of Tempestari I will give you, it was like a 24-minute quest. That one I don't hate as bad because at least I didn't grind out 3 fucking days on the goddamn, on the thing, three nights worth of time to grind out the quest just to get a blueprint. But I hate the fact that they give you a quest and then you grind out that goddamn quest, which some of these quests get pretty fucking long. I mean, you can do them in one sitting. Yes, absolutely you can. But some people like me don't have the patience for it, okay? We'll do a little at a time and then go record a video. Or, you know, record an hour's worth at a time. And fuck around and have fun, but then be like, I don't want to do the quest anymore. So then go back to the next day. Yes, that's a me problem. I agree. But don't make me grind out some fucking idiotic fucking quest, like the Glass Gambit, for example. You have to grind out the index. Very irritating. Because you have to lose. You have to keep the point value in a certain fucking direction. And you have to lose money initially. And then all you get is a blueprint. You get the Nidus blueprint. And farming Nidus fucking sucks. It's annoying. Okay, it's not hard. Well, it's not hard-ish. It's fucking annoying. Okay? So, yeah. Just saying. I hate that style of quest. You know, Ureli. You get the Ureli blueprint initially, and you're like, fucking son of a bitch, I just had to do all this K-Drive shit for nothing. And then you realize, just by chance, just by an email inbox message from grandma, that you can build their fucking little Vent Kids Bash Lab thing in your dojo, and you got all 3 parts available in 3 days. I'm okay with that. Takes like 6 days total. Excuse me. 6 or 7 days. Well, no. It's 24 hours for the Bash Lab. It's 3 days for the research. So there's 4 days there. And then 12 hours for all 3 of those parts blueprints to build. So there's 4.5 days plus 3 more days to build. So basically a week. But you get everything you need to make Ureli. And then you can go play Ureli. Farming her weapons is ridiculous, which is why I used a 75% off and got them for like $8 and change. Sorry, I looked up how to fucking farm the ambassador and the fucking compressor. Nope. Wasn't doing it. Hollow keys and a whole bunch of bullshit. Just wasn't doing it. Sorry. But yeah, explanations. You get to a point and then all of a sudden Google becomes your friend. Do I have a problem with that? No, I don't. But I'm established in the game with 1,000 hours of playtime, almost 1,100 hours. Do I think new players will have a problem with that in this game? Yes. Yes, I do. I think it's a massive turnoff. And to open the platform to a new mobile version of the game without any explanation aside from the tutorial and aside from the relay system, I think you're going to get a bunch of mobiles and then I think they're going to leave. Unless they're established players with a secondary account. You're going to have to build something else on top of it. Just saying. So, new players, don't be afraid to fiddle around in the mod station. Don't sell quest line items. If you get an item in the quest, keep that bitch. It may come in handy later. Warframes included. Weapons included. Just trust me on this. Don't be afraid to fiddle around with the mods as far as applying them to your Warframes. That's a huge thing. Don't be afraid to die in missions while attempting to play with abilities. Okay? That's how you learn. You gotta fuck up to learn. Okay? Don't be afraid to do every single mission on every planet before you go to the relays. You don't have to fast track off the planet. You can gain mastery rank, you can gain credits, you can gain mods, you can gain endo. Excuse me. There's a lot of things to gain by finishing each planet to the best of your ability before moving on to the next. And if you are low level, unless a quest tells you to, stay the fuck away from the free roam parts initially. I think once you're mastery 5, it's a really good time to go play around at the free roam. But prior to mastery 5, it's insane to let players just go free roam in an area that's meant for people of mastery 15 and higher typically, because those free roam areas will fuck you up. You know, you've got the Eidolons on the plains of Eidolon, you've got the Exploiter Orb, plus the alarm system at Orb Valus, and then you have like every level of Eximus that could possibly pop up on Deimos. Now, Deimos, in my opinion, is the safest location for a lower level player, but even then, you get a fucking Juggernaut show up and that's game over. You're gonna die. For somebody who's got good weapons, the Juggernauts on Deimos are shit. But for somebody who doesn't have good weapons and good mods for their Warframe, you're gonna fucking die. So, just take my advice, okay? Trust me, because this game is worth the grind. It is. I've played a lot of fucking video games in my 41 years on this earth, okay? I have played a lot of fucking video games in my 41 years. And I can tell you right now, this literally is one of the best games I have ever played. And this isn't a gush fest. This is a free-to-play game, okay? Legit. I got no sponsorship. I got no reason to say this other than because I want to. Because I want other people to enjoy what I'm enjoying. But you have to understand that it doesn't tell a very good story early. Unless you really, really, really look for it. Yes, the story opens up big time at the second dream. But up to that point, you're like, eh. Like, the second dream is like your graduation into the storyline, okay? It's like, you know, from the awakening all the way to the second dream is like basically kindergarten through senior year. Once you hit the second dream, you just graduate. It's time to go to college. Just saying. So, folks, that's it. That's all. And a story in the line. So, I want to thank you very much for watching, as always, and I'll catch you in the next one, all right?